going on, everybody? You know who it is. This is Austin, and this is the Austin Smith Real Estate Podcast, where we talk about real estate and we talk about lifestyle. Today's show is going to blow your mind because today's show is going to make it actionable on what you need to do in order for you to go after commercial properties. Specifically, in today's episode, we talk about multi-family units, the 5, the 10, the 20, the 30, 40, 50 units. And a lot of people might see it daunting simply because it's kind of hard to fathom, what needs to be done in order for you to kind of take down these types of deals. But today's guest makes it so easy to understand that all you have to do is move. We talk about everything from a 5-unit commercial all the way down to a $52 million deal. I believe it's 393 units down in Florida. And the interesting part about it is that it's all the same. Just bigger deal equals bigger numbers. So before we jump into the show, a little bit of housekeeping. If you or anybody that you know is looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, please let me know. Let's get them squared away and let's get them closer to their goals. And if you happen to gain any value from the Austin Smith Real Estate Podcast, please leave me a rating and review on iTunes. And as always, if you know anyone that can benefit by coming onto the show and sharing their expertise, please let me know. Gal, guy, does not matter. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the show. What's going on, everybody? Today on the show, I wanted to bring this individual on because most of the times, including for myself, you start to get the question of, how do I get myself into the commercial and retail space? How do I purchase commercial property? How do I, put my money and invest it into kind of the bigger deals than your 2, 3, 4 families, residential? And, as me and my fiance continue to buy property, eventually it's going to become the goal to purchase an apartment building. So this episode will be interesting, for me enough. And this individual, he's the president and CEO of Senior Commercial Capital, which is a commercial lending company. And this year, actually year to date, they're doing extremely well. They've hit over 12 million in commercial volume. And that's year to date. And mind you, we got the whole last quarter of the year, and I'm pretty sure they're waiting on some deals to get closed. So this individual, he even had a 10-year stint in law. He's been a mortgage broker, mortgage banker. This guy is the money guy. When you need money, when you need to find out how to go after money, you call this individual. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to Gregory Davis. Greg, thanks for taking the time to come on the show.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I know, like I said, the first time I met you, my dad's name is Gregory, so we're going to have a pretty interesting show. I'm feeling the vibe on it already. So real quick, just unpack, just tell us the man behind the machine. How'd you get started? What background kind of led you up to what you're doing now?
Okay, well, I was a paralegal in law in 97, but I bought my first 4-unit. I'm going to experiment. I had been watching all those shows on how to fix and flip properties and things for like 3-4 years. So I said, well, I'm going to try it. So I bought my first 4-unit in 97. I fixed it and became a landlord. And then from there, I went to single-family homes and fixed and flipped those up until 02. 02, I got into the residential mortgage game in order to help other investors, So I did residential mortgages till 08 at the point where we had to get licensed and bonded and insured and NMLS and all of that. And then it took 9 months to close a perfect file that normally took 3-4 weeks. I said, I'm out. That's when it crashed. And I went to commercial since '08. So I've been doing commercial since '08 to today.
Okay, so individuals now, and these are individuals that are looking to purchase commercial space, whether that's retail, office, multifamily, correct? The whole kit and caboodle, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and where can people find you that? Like if they wanted to, if they wanted to inquire about funding, because we're going to talk about funding and the steps to getting approved to go after, a commercial space. We'll talk specifically about multifamily. But if people wanted to inquire, pick your brain, find out what are the next steps, where can they find you at?
Well, they can do one of two things. They can go to my website at www.senior, spelled out, commercial, spelled out, capital, spelled out, .com. Senior Commercial Capital, or they can call me direct at 636-579-0582.
That's awesome, because now we're going to dive straight into, okay, because people always have the idea of being the landlord of, or being the owner of a big building, because they know with that passive cash flow opportunity, with the equity, with things like that, that's what everybody has the goal to accomplish and become these big real estate developers, individuals that, can make a lot of money, by building up real estate. But they don't know where to start. They know that it's daunting, or they feel that it's daunting because of the magnitude of the type of deal that they have to take down. But if I came to you and I said, you know what, Greg, I've had this on my mind for a while. We're kind of tired of we want to go after something bigger than the 2, 3, 4 units. What are my first steps? What do I do first?
The first thing I would say is, don't be a landlord.
Interesting. Elaborate. Unpack that.
For your protection, to protect your money and that income that you want from it, and I'm talking to you from experience, because I was a landlord, my 4-unit, got rent every month, had some Section 8 in there, but in December, you can forget rent, because somebody always going to have a death in the family or emergency or something. They're not going to pay that. They're not going to pay that rent. They're going to have a Merry Christmas. So once you get into that, don't be the landlord. Get you a management company. Pay them that 10% of that rent. And they will take care of the maintenance. They will take care of collecting the rent. They'll take care of issuing, eviction notices and all that kind of stuff. And that way, you don't want to hurt nobody's feelings because they jiving on you, not paying you no rent in December, because they want to have a Merry Christmas for their family, but they're not going to pay their rent. So when you're getting into the multifamily, then get you a management company, and they will do all the interviewing and all the due diligence on who the client, who the renter is, who they are, pull their credit and do all that old stuff, and make sure they have a good, solid tenant in there for you. That's the first thing I'd say. So, then I'd say go after the 30, 40, 50, or 20 unit building, but have your management company with you, and get you one that's local, who kind of everybody knows. You know what I mean? Get you one of the top ones that everybody know, so they know they got to come correct. But they will be evicted.
Because that's interesting, because it's a total mindset switch, right? Because for now, with me and the units that I have now, I'm okay managing the properties. And luckily, I've been getting rent all throughout the winter. Hopefully, it continues like that. But, that's one of the risks that you take on as a landlord. So, you understand that going in that, it's
Yeah.
part of the business. But, okay, so you have that mindset switch of, okay, buying the 20, 30, 10, 20, 30 unit and up buildings, hire a management company, take that over, remove yourself as the landlord, and now look at it as a total business owner.
So you don't mind every month picking up a check,
Right.
getting a check, and you're not running out there because the toilet don't work or the refrigerator broke down and all the maintenance and things stuff. They take care of all that. The only thing you're getting worried about every month is your check.
And that's that's the truly passive lifestyle that individuals aim for. A lot of them, a lot of individuals, like, I just want to be able to collect a check. No one wants to be able to, fix toilets, screw in the light bulb that's not working. Nobody wants to do that. So it's interesting because ironically, then more people need to start off with the 20, 30, 40, 50 unit buildings that property management is going to be taking over rather than the 2, 3, and 4. Now, obviously, the bigger deal, the bigger the money that's involved. So walk me through that. I've had that mindset switch. And at this point, I'm looking to, I have a sum of cash. Do I go get an LLC? Do I establish myself as an LLC? Or take me through those steps of getting the money.
Yeah, you definitely have to have an entity. More importantly, your experience on how you're going to manage that company is going to be the criteria for you getting the loan. For one, I'm going to give you an example. We just got a deal day before yesterday, a 693 unit in Jacksonville, in Florida. Sale price is $50 million. So my AE brought me this deal. They said they had it appraised, and it was appraised at $64 million. So they gave me the prospectus on it. I have a 20-page offer, everything. Yeah, the rent rolls, pro forma, what it's done, the plans, the whole bit. And so first thing I want to know, well, who is the client? For one, I need an executive summary. I need to know how much liquid assets they have right now. And I need to know their experience and or who's going to manage that 693 multifamily unit for them. So they sent me their bio. All the players have been in the game 20 plus years as developers and in the real estate game and different things and this and that. That's fine. I said, how much liquid cash do they have? Oh, they got 11 million. Okay. For a deal that size, they're going to have to be worth at least 50 mil themselves. The cash flow that they have in liquid assets is going to have to be at a minimum 10% and another 5% for reserves. More importantly, who's going to run that? Who's going to run that complex? Who's going to manage it? So those are the things that you need, basically, just to determine what the cash flow is. You're gonna need to be liquid, and you're gonna need a rent roll, and the taxes for the last 2 years of that complex you're gonna buy, the P&L for the last 2 years, and year to date. So and the advantage is to get a loan, it's going to need to be at least at a minimum 90% occupied. And then it's going to have to be able to service that debt. And the way it's structured is it can be either 75 or up to 80% loan to value of that number, that purchase price.
Okay, so usually it's about, you would say, whatever complex that you're doing, whether you're doing the $50 million unit or whether you're doing, the $250, unit down, somewhere down south or,
Same.
wherever you can
It's all
find
the
that.
same.
Same thing, right?
It's
So
all
you're
the
looking
same.
at
Same thing.
you're looking at 20 to 25% down payment of whatever that purchase
Yep.
price is. And
Yep.
the criteria, what the lenders are looking at, what you're looking at is, okay, does this deal make sense essentially? Is it 90% occupied? Is the rent roll
Yep.
coming in like it should? Do you
Yep.
have liquid assets if something were to go wrong? And you said 10%. Now, is that so?
Yep.
You should have 10% of the purchase price in liquid assets to be worthy of a commercial loan.
For something like that, yes, because something may happen, and we have to have the comfort that
You can take care of
fixed.
it, right? Because those are going to be bigger repairs. That's not a leaky toilet. That's that's an HVAC
Right.
system running through the whole entire building kind of issue. So okay, understood. So you now have that opportunity. You find yourself, you grab a team together. Some individuals might choose to get a team together, start an LLC, have funds. Now, are you looking at what the LLC has, or are you looking at individuals' credit? So if I were to partner, say me and 4 people, we start an LLC, we open up a bank account, we throw money into the bank account. When we come to you, are you looking at what the LLC is providing, or what us individually and our credit and our financial history?
Both. Because the buyer is the LLC, not you individually. You're the guarantor for the buyer. Buyer is the entity. So your credit score, your individuals, each of y'all's credit score, and experience. So when you put a team together, get a team with somebody who has experience managing those multi-units. So in other words, when the question is asked, have you ever managed them? Well, yes. John Jones in our entity, he's been managing apartment complexes, 2, 3, 4 units plus or whatever for the last 10, 15 years. Boom. Okay. What's your credit score? Well, our credit score is 700. Boom. That's perfect. Minimum, at about in the mid 6s would be a minimum. So only a couple of you are going to sign. So each member in the operating agreement is going to have so many percentages of ownership. Whether it's all 25%, if it's 4 people and each of you have 25%,
right?
Then out of those 4, you're going to want the one with the highest credit score, being a guarantor signer, and another one that manages them. So that's slam dunk.
Gotcha.
Then we need the bank account to see how much liquid assets you have in there, and we'll tell you how much you're going to need.
And is that, you look at now, after you selected that grantor, are you just now, because if, 4 individuals in the team, one stands out, one has the income, the credit, the liquid assets, you appoint him as the grantor. Now, are you only focusing, two parts of the questions, are you only focusing on that particular individual's financial situation and not everybody else? And then 2, what's like the legal ramifications of being that grantor? What are you responsible for? And what are the consequences if you don't uphold that agreement?
Well, it's not only that, the credit scores and what have you, but primarily it's going to be the property. And can it debt service? Is the rent that's being collected, can it debt service that loan? Period. As the grantor or guarantor, then whatever happens, if it has to be foreclosed on or anything, you're gonna basically lose the building. You're gonna lose the building, and will have some responsibility. Not much, but some.
Right, because it's the LLC that is being foreclosed
It's
on.
the LLC,
That's getting the mark.
but it's your personal financial statement and the liquid assets that the entity has. All of it's connected.
Okay, so you're taking on risks, but obviously, not compared to you buying the property in your name and getting that foreclosed on. And
right,
okay,
right.
Understood. So it has.
Yeah.
So obviously, the LLC provides a life of its loan, a life of its own, essentially. Okay, so it's safe to say commercial lending, just for the audience, asset-based lending. It's not, individuals who purchase a single family or even up to a four family. They can just go to a bank, whatever they get approved for, they can go out and go shopping for it. Doesn't matter. They go ahead and they can go buy with whatever they are pre-approved for. But it looks like on the commercial side of it, it's more asset-based lending. Does this, even though you have the money, does this property make sense from the lender's standpoint? Because obviously you're taking on a bigger risk. Is the money coming in going to be able to debt service and give me my money back plus whatever interest that I have into the deal?
Right. And that you're making some money every month.
Gotcha. Doesn't make sense if the lender's making money, and at least on your analysis, if the lender's making money, everybody else is making money except for the individuals that own it, then obviously they're less likely to, one, care, or even, to put their heart into it if they don't see no, benefit coming from it. Understood.
Right. And because we're not going to want to fund anything if you're not going to make no money. Yeah, that's to service the debt, but it's an investment property. It's not an owner-occupied property. It's an investment property for you to make money on, so that the comfort is there that we have on doing the risk of doing the loan, so that you, me, management company, everybody makes money.
What would you say?
Now, the difference.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. So it's safe to say that, like, at least in your experience over the deals that you have seen, most of these individuals or LLC that are buying these properties or those types of properties or even commercial space in general, it's safe to say that most of them are team efforts, right? Do you see a lot of, individuals by themselves, or what's the ratio? Say out of 10 deals, how many are you finding where somebody is on the LLC and, just by themselves?
It's about a 60-40. We just closed a 6-unit in Texas where it was the individual, and he was everything in the entity. It was just him.
And you said 60% single, 60% just one individual?
Yeah, 60% one individual that's the guarantor for that entity. The other 40% may have a partner or two.
And that's on the So, and I'm assuming that's probably that's interesting, because I'm assuming now once you hit 5 units, it's now commercial. So I can understand the 5, the 6 units, things like that. Do you see any correlation where you start to get into 10 units and above? I'm just trying to see if I'm just trying to guide the audience. Is this something where you go after it alone, or you try yourself, or is this something that you immediately look to link up with a partner with? I guess it all depends on experience as well, but that's what I was kind of trying to pull out.
Well, we structure and help an individual to buy the property, because they'll say, I got a 6-unit that I want to buy. It's fully occupied. Okay. So you're the guarantor. What's your credit score, and what's your experience, and what's your liquid assets? Well, my credit score is low, but I got money, and I've done this before. I said, okay, well then get you a partner in your entity whose credit score is going to qualify you for, and then we use your experience and your liquid assets to close the deal. So we help people structure it in a way that is going to work, and where we're going to recommend the type of partners you need to bring into your deal. Most everybody has or knows someone they've worked with that will have that other experience that he doesn't have in order to make it whole.
And so is it safe to say there's about 4 components to the eligibility process? There's the credit, there's the liquid asset, there's the experience, and the deal itself, whether the lender feels like it's a great deal. Is that safe to say, those 4 components?
That's exactly what it is.
Awesome. And okay, so
exactly.
Great, that's awesome. So that's if, now that's a good example when you're purchasing, if I and my partner, we happen to see a 6 unit in the area, we want to go after it, it's fully rented, ready to go. The guy just wants to sell, because he wants to, cash out, retire. But what happens if it's a distressed property? Like I'm currently wholesaling a 9 unit building, and I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt because I was trying to see what I can do to own it, and I guess with my inexperience and me, wanting to unload this thing quick as possible, I'm wholesaling it, and we should be closing, I believe, next Tuesday, which is awesome. So, but my individual, he's coming in now. He's using hard money, which obviously is whether it's hard money or whether it's commercial lending, they're 2 different sides of the same coin. And I know that you offer investment loans for distressed properties. Kind of walk us through, okay, say if my same partner, instead of the 6 unit fully rehabbed, now take that same building, whatever the characteristics are, but it's completely distressed. But we could see the potential that it's going to be in the future a fully occupied 6 unit building, which is awesome in numbers. We looking at purchase price, but what do you tack on the renovation loan on the renovation numbers on top of the loan? How does that work if it's a completely distressed unit?
Yeah, it's one loan, but it's comprised of 80 to 85 to maybe 90% of the purchase price, and then 100% of the renovation. So your number to get most of everything is going to be depending on, one, the experience. The experienced investor always gets the best terms. So let's say it's an experienced investor that's buying that property, and they need the renovation money too. They've done this before, and they already own 2 or 3. His interest rate is going to be in the 9s, 9.5, maybe 10. Okay, and it's a slam dunk. But if it's a first timer, his interest rates are going to be in the 12. Everything is your experience is going to determine what your terms are and what your loan is going to be. Now, with the after repaired value and what the total market rents are and the comps in that area, all those numbers are also critical and tantamount to the deal being structured in a way where you get the most money you can at the closing table to go do what you have to do. And then you're either going to sell it or you'll come back to us and say, we're going to rent it, Greg. We're going to keep it. So now we need to refi out of the hard money loan into a regular loan.
Got you. And refinancing, just for the audience, refinancing out of that, because the hard money loan or the renovation loan, they're quick loans, in and out in a year, in and out in maybe, 18 months at most, but depending on the project. But it's short-term financing for you to get exactly what you said, for you to get what you need done to get the property up into running conditions where you're going to sell it, or you're going to essentially turn your short-term lending, short-term lending into your normal financing package, the same way as if you would have went after that same building when it was fully occupied at 6 units. And you're still looking at the same criteria as as a distressed property. You're still looking at the same 4 things that you're looking at a regular purchase.
Right. Then everything will be predicated off what that after repaired value appraisal number is going to be. So, and then you can get up to 75% of that number. You get all your investment capital off your loan, the hard money loan paid off, and usually a couple more bucks in your pocket to put in there to operate that place and start getting it occupied.
Got it. Just confirm for me, that's the criteria, whether you're looking at the multifamily, whether you're looking at retail space, a parking lot, whatever commercial entity that's used as an asset for investment purposes, that is the criteria all throughout.
Right. Even a single family from 1 to 4 units.
That's being used as an investment. Right. Gotcha. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is what's a good deal for Greg Davis? Tell me about the terms, when somebody brings it, a deal to you, what are you looking for terms wise?
The terms that we give our clients, the funds that we represent and the funding that we have, they got to make Greg Davis happy. They got to make me happy first for the terms that I'm going to have to give to my client. They make me happy, my client's going to be ecstatic. But they got to make me happy first, So that way I can tell the client, look, it was a tough deal, because we've closed tough deals.
Right.
But a deal that isn't tough, I can tell the client, hey, we got A, B, or C options. That's what you qualify for. Which one do you want? Well, Greg, I think B is the best one. Okay, B, slam dunk, done. If it's a super difficult deal where there's only one option, we say, this is the only option you have. You either want it or you don't. So,
Right.
Or, I'm sorry, we can't help you. You don't qualify for anything. But we unravel every option to see how we can make it work. Whether it's more liquid assets they have to put down, or if they have to go get that partner, like I said, who has a better credit score, or a partner with experience, put it in there, and we restructure it to make it work.
That's so interesting, because you obviously are able to deal with, or you're able to handle deals from any part of the country, essentially. Like you were just mentioning I think it was down in Florida, the 393.
We're nationwide. Yeah, we fund nationwide, even in Hawaii. I'm doing a refinance in Hawaii right after the hurricane.
Wow, awesome. We're gonna jump right into the core 4. The 4 questions that I ask each and every guest on the Austin Smith Real Estate Podcast. Question number 1, what is your favorite aspect about real estate?
Helping an investor be successful with the challenge they want to do in real estate. Helping them to succeed, especially from their first property.
everyone always remembers their first property. And it's amazing to be part of that transaction when it's your first property. That's awesome. I could talk about that all day, but we won't even go into that. Question number two. Your favorite business or personal development book?
I would say it would be I'm thinking of the title of it, the 48.
48 Laws of
I'll tell
Power.
you that. Yeah.
I have it on my shelf. I have not gotten to it yet, but it will be read.
Read it.
It's a pretty thick book. It's a thick book.
It is. It's about 3 inches thick.
Yeah, it's pretty thick, which is why it's still sitting on my shelf. But I'm gonna be getting over to it. I'm reading through a couple of other ones, but that one's on the list for sure. Already purchased and already on the shelf. All right, cool. Number three, fun things that you like to do in your spare time when you're not funding $53 million deals. What are you doing in your spare time? Are you handling these multi-million-dollar deals from the beach? What are you doing in your spare time?
Well, my 42 years of being around, but handling it doesn't matter. I could be horseback riding, I could be somewhere scuba diving, and still working. The beauty of it is I can work anywhere at any time. Anywhere at any time. So it doesn't matter if I'm on vacation. I may have to take a call or two. Give you a prime example. One of my funds was working on an $80 million deal. He's on vacation this week in Canada, on vacation, but dealing with some investment stuff over there in Canada. Now, I also had to take him to do a conference call on this $80 million deal. So you can be on vacation, man, and work as less as possible. You let your director of processing handle different things, and if there's something that only I can answer, then I take the call.
Right. I tell people all the time, like if you're on vacation, or even at certain hours of the night, like yes, you know, in this business, you work from the moment that you open your eyes to the moment that you close. But at least at certain times where you know you should be taking it down or relaxing, like on vacation, the stuff might come up. Yes, absolutely. But make sure it's the $10,000, the $20,000 an hour work. Don't take time away for the admin stuff for the $10 an hour work or the $15,000, the $15 an hour work. If somebody's looking to put a deal together that's going to net you, some money at the end, yes, you take the call, but handling something that, a transaction or somebody needs a document signed or something like that, like you said, that should be with your loan processor or somebody that's providing you leverage so you're not doing that work all the time.
Right.
Awesome.
And I have that. So I'm blessed with my director of processing has been in the game over 30 years, been with me over the last 9 or 10. So
business is needed, especially salesmen. It's heavily needed. Last question. Where can people find you at, Greg?
Okay, you can find me on Facebook, Senior Commercial Capital. You can find me on LinkedIn, Senior Commercial Capital, and same on Twitter, or and go to the website, seniorcommercialcapital.com, and look at the video that's there, and that video kind of sells the money, tells you exactly what we're doing, what we have available for you, and or call me directly, 636-579-0582.
Greg, thank you so much, man. I'm pretty sure the audience is going to get a lot of great nuggets on step-by-step how to go after the commercial space, because I know a lot of them feel like it's daunting, but you've made it. Even certain aspects of my thinking were cleared up today. And that's now giving me the confidence to take the next step towards that endeavor, whether that's by myself or whether that, I need to partner with individuals. I know what I need, and knowledge is power. Greg, thank you so much for sharing the experience, the expertise, the knowledge, the gold, the wisdom. Thank you for taking the time to come on the show. If there's anything else that you wanted to mention last second, it's all open for you. Outside of that, I greatly thank you for coming on to the show, man.
Thank you, man. And we have a passion for helping people that needs it. And the funding that we have, that our passion is, people don't have to look for real money anymore. If they connect with us, we have so much funding in our pocket that we'll never get it all in the street in this lifetime. And I'm 63 years old. God bless you. And I look to funding all your deals, Austin.
I appreciate that. Let's get to work. Basically, he's got more than enough money that's available for investment opportunities. Everyone, go out there and find those deals. Greg, thank you so much.